Hello guys, today I want to talk about something I've never really admitted out loud. I hate being alone, not in the way people usually mean it, not loneliness, not boredom, something deeper than that. Something that took me a long time to even understand, let alone say, and I think a lot of you feel it too. So let's talk about it. There's a philosopher called Blaise Pascal who wrote something in the 1600s that has stayed with me. He said that all of humanity's problems stem from the inability to sit quietly in a room alone. And when I first read that, I thought, okay, dramatic. But the more I sat with it, the more I realized he was pointing at something real. We are terrified of being alone with ourselves. Not of silence, not of boredom, of ourselves. And that's a very different thing. Think about what happens when you're actually alone. Truly alone. No phone, no music, no background noise, just you. What's the first thing that comes up? For most people, it's not peace, it's not clarity, it's noise, internal noise, thoughts you've been avoiding, feelings you've been too busy to feel, questions you don't have answers to. And the moment that starts, you reach for your phone, or you put something on, or you text someone, anything to not be with that. I do this. I've done it my whole life, and I think that's what I actually hate about being alone. Not the alone part, the part where I have to face myself with nothing in between. There's a concept in psychology called self-confrontation. The idea that we spend enormous amounts of energy constructing a version of ourselves that we can live with, a narrative, a self-image. And solitude threatens that, because when you're with other people, you can perform. You can be the version of yourself that you've decided to be. But alone, you can't perform for no one. And whatever you've been hiding from yourself starts to surface. And that's uncomfortable. Profoundly uncomfortable. But here's what I've started to think. Maybe that discomfort is the most important thing you can feel. The ancient Greeks had this idea. Know thyself. It was inscribed at the Temple of Delphi. 2 words. And they consider it the foundation of all wisdom. Not know the world, not know others, know yourself. And I think they understood something we've forgotten, that you cannot know yourself in motion. You cannot know yourself in the middle of noise and people and distraction. You can only know yourself in stillness, in solitude, in those uncomfortable moments when there's nothing between you and you. Which means, if you never sit with that discomfort, if you never learn to be alone, you go through your entire life not really knowing who you are. I used to think I hated being alone because I needed people. And there's truth in that. Humans are social animals. We're literally wired for connection. But I've come to think that wasn't the whole story for me. I needed people because people made it easy to not think. Other people are the best distraction there is. They give you something to focus on, someone to be, a role to play, and when they're gone, you're left with the question, the one you've been running from. Who am I when nobody's watching? That question used to terrify me. Honestly, some days it still does, but something shifted for me recently. I started spending time alone on purpose. Not scrolling, not listening to anything, just sitting, and at first it was exactly as uncomfortable as I expected. My brain was loud. My thoughts went to places I didn't want them to go. I felt restless, almost itchy, and then, slowly, something changed. The noise started to settle. Not disappear, settle, like sediment in water that's finally been left still. And underneath all that noise, there was something quieter, something that felt more like me than anything I'd found in all the conversations and distractions. I don't know how to describe it exactly. It was like finding a room in your house you didn't know existed, and realizing you'd been living in the hallway this whole time. I think the reason we hate being alone, and I mean really hate it in that deep, uncomfortable way, is because we've been taught that solitude is a problem to solve. That being alone means something is wrong. That if you're not surrounded by people and plans and activity, you're failing at life somehow. But what if solitude isn't the problem? What if it's the solution? What if the people who are most at peace, most genuinely comfortable in their own skin are the ones who learn to sit with themselves without flinching. There's a difference between being alone and being lonely. I used to confuse them. Loneliness is a feeling. It's the ache of wanting connection and not having it. Being alone is just a circumstance. You can be alone without being lonely, and you can be surrounded by people and be the loneliest you've ever felt. The goal, I think, isn't to never be alone. It's to be able to be alone without it feeling like punishment. To sit in a room by yourself and feel okay, not happy necessarily, not enlightened, just okay, present, there. Because if you can do that, if you can be with yourself without running, then you're free in a way that has nothing to do with other people. You stop needing things from the outside to feel okay on the inside, and that changes everything. I'm not there yet. I want to be honest about that. I still reach for my phone more than I should. I still feel silences that don't need to be filled, but I'm more aware of it now. And I think awareness is where everything starts. So if you also hate being alone, if that quiet makes you uncomfortable in ways you can't quite explain, I want you to know that I think you're not running from nothing. You're running from something real, something worth turning around and facing. Because on the other side of that discomfort is something you've probably been looking for everywhere else. Yourself.